And it looks like we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first stream of the Team Week Series 2024. I'm Josh. I'm going to be streaming today, and our commentator today is Evie.
Hello everyone, I am Evie. You may also know me by Never Saw. I will be doing the commentating for today. I'm sorry if my voice sounds like garbage. I'm currently sick with COVID, but we're gonna make this work. So today we have our first matchup of the Team League Series. Woo! Team League Series 2024. Let's get hype, everyone. First matchup that we're going to be having for today is Dark Horses versus Mechanical Disadvantage, a very hyped up matchup. We've got two great teams here on the Red Alliance. If I can pull up my list of team members, we have Takanori as the, I believe, team captain. We have Luis, 1771. We have Autumncast, and we have the beloved Casey as well. And for the side of Mechanical Disadvantage, we have Winrich 5, Sammy Pants, Flying... Oh, nope, I have the wrong team. I'm so sorry. There's two Mechanicals. Bear with me here. I messed this up. I'm so sorry. Let's try that again. All right. Mechanical Disadvantage contains Duck, Evan, 8738, Zachary, and Techno. So we can get this, I believe, matchup started in a moment here. Bear with us here as we get this going. This is our first stream of the year. It's been quite a few months since we've had a stream, actually, on the second robotics channel. If we don't count the slight oopsie we had somewhere along the way. I believe we have the announcements now. Everybody knows we are live.
1.
Huzzah! I'm going to take a quick drink of liquid. Make sure to get your liquid, everyone. And I believe the match is starting now, as we are going to have Autumn, Takanori, and Luis playing for Dark Horses, Techno Duck, and Evan on the other side, as both teams are racing to score a lot of points. We already have 5 notes scored, and I believe the term is the speaker. Apologies if my terms are not entirely up to date. I've only likely seen this game so far. But the score is already off to a huge advantage for the red side. It looks like we are 2 minutes into the match. Red Alliance is up 39-19. A lot of contribution from Luis and Autumn thus far, as Techno and Duck for the Blue Alliance are trying to get some score on the other side of the map. Evan's getting some spears notes scored for the Blue Alliance, as Autumn's going to miss one. It's going to bounce right off the front. Unfortunately, the mini drone is sometimes pro to that happening. Takanori, I believe, is trying to score one of those trap notes, and one of them has already been scored. I can't tell if the second one has yet, but we will know in the end game. It looks like Takanori's having a couple struggles making it happen so far, as there's a lot of tussling going on the Blue Alliance's side of the map. Duck and Techno running across the field. And we got a bit of a traffic jam in the blue side, not quite coordinating that right, but they're all going to get their notes. And Techno is trying to score a trap note for the Blue Alliance. Score is 51-44. Nope, 53-44. Score is going up fast with 55 seconds. We're about 35 seconds out from the end game. The amount of notes scored is actually equal, 16-16, but the main difference is that Red Alliance got a lot more in auto. Luis and Evan are putting up a lot of points. Duck and Autumn pretty evenly matched as well, but Techno and Takanori are a little bit behind, and Blue Alliance is starting to catch up now. 33 seconds to go, but I think the trap notes are already filled for the Red Alliance. I don't know if Blue Alliance has all of them. I think I see 2 notes trapped in there. 25 seconds to go. The score is dead even. Blue Alliance is scoring way more notes. They're making up for the auto. With 20 seconds left, the trap notes are now counted in. The score is neck and neck. We have a crazy set of matches already. 12 seconds to go. 74-77. Oh, the Red Alliance is going to get, I think, a free climb there. Evan goofed on something and gives over a technical foul. That's going to be quite a few extra points as 2 climbs are going up. I think that was also a double possession penalty on Evan on the backside, as the score is going to go 97-90 at the last second. A horrific choke from the Blue Alliance to start this off, but honestly, kudos to them for bringing this game so close after the auto was going so awry. You can see here in the post game the total score 97-90. But that auto score difference is huge. But the tele-up score was just way better from the Blue Lines. Unfortunately, there was a penalty that ended up happening there towards the end, and I think that's what made a lot of the difference. But already starting this off, this is definitely a closely contested matchup, and they're making it real as Luis is going to be the most scored player in this match. I'm so happy we have player contributions back again. That was one of the most fun parts of Rapid React. And that will be it for our first match. If I remember correctly, our matches are best of fives for these matchups, at least for the regular season. And that means we are going to have the Red Alliance, which is, if I'm remembering my team, Dark Horses, up 1-0 in this matchup. So we'll get on to the second match shortly here.
Hey, folks, just popping in real quick. Because these are recordings and these aren't live, it does take me a second to switch from match to match, so just bear with us because this is our first time doing it, and my computer's kind of hobbling along for this stream.
Hey, you know, it's better than trying to get a live match set up in the old days of stuff. Like, oh man, sometimes trying to get these matches set up, you just be sitting here waiting for the next match to start because someone's is not joining the game, someone's having a problem. So, hey, you know what? These might be already completed matches, but at least all it takes is booting up a match instead of having to wait for everyone to get together in the game.
Three, two, one.
Believe we have looks like the second match going on. Uh-oh, scoreboard not there. That's okay. We'll have everything together shortly here. 2 minutes 18 seconds on the clock. Auto is almost going up, and once again, Red Alliance is just way ahead of the Blue Alliance in auto. They just cannot get it together. But they already showed last time that their teleop was way better. I think Takanori spent a lot of times on the trap note and didn't quite make it happen. But oh, the Blue Alliance is struggling now. They're having a few issues with notes getting stuck in front of the, I believe that's the subwoofer. They're having some difficulties to say the least, but they still pulled it back last time. I think it's totally possible for them to do it again. Blue Alliance getting one trap note, two trap notes in. I believe that's Techno over here. I can't quite see the names entirely just yet. Trying to see if I can read off the small bumper text as, oh, double possession penalty. I believe that was from one of the Red Alliance members. I can't quite tell who that was. It looks like it might have been Takanori accidentally getting a penalty there from some whicher way. Another penalty is going to come out. It looks like, oh, okay, we got our first accidental tip, but it was on a teammate. Red Alliance getting a penalty as well. And even though they were behind in autos and the notes are even with two penalties for the in favor of the Blue Alliance, they've gotten a lot of extra points along the way. Blue Alliance going to pick up a couple more notes to go score back in their speaker. And Red Alliance, in the meanwhile, they're really trying to get the amp going. Takanori's trying, but it looks like one of the Blue Alliance members, Evan8738, is doing a great job of shutting them down and just not letting these trap notes get scored for free. They are high-valued points, 5 points per each, but you are totally unprotected while trying to go for them. And the Blue Alliance is taking full advantage of that. Well, they already have at least 2 of their trap notes scored, but I think Red Alliance also has managed to get 3 trap notes scored, so despite the defense, they still managed to make it happen in the end, and now they're just going to be scoring in the speaker 68-73, and actually we're already in the end game. Wow, this time it's already gone really fast. Another penalty is going to come out for Duck, as Mechanical Disadvantage is going to be trying to get their climb. He's going to have 2 robots on the same side. That's going to give them extra points. I can't remember what the term's called, but it is going to get them extra points. And as Red Alliance robots are trying to go up, it's not going to happen in the end. Blue Alliance Mechanical Disadvantage will be taking this game number 2 with a score of 90-87. And once again, the auto is huge that Red Alliance is coming out at a big lead, but they're just completely outmatched in teleop. There were a couple penalties that definitely helped the Blue Alliance win this game, but you can just look at it and they're just outscoring them across the board. If the Blue Alliance manages to get their auto under control, it's going to be a rough road for Dark Horses, but as their name suggests, anything can happen, and this series is now tied up 1-1. And it's anyone's game at this point with up to 3 more games to play for.
One.
Alright, looks like the third match is about underway. Don't mind the text going a bit weird. Average XRC moment. Let's see if Mechanical Disadvantage can manage to get some more points in auto as, oh, they actually get one more note in auto, and Red Alliance is having a bit of a struggle this time around. 2 minutes, 15 seconds, the auto period is over. It is 2 to 5 notes, and suddenly the tables have been flipped. The Blue Alliance has the big lead in auto, and we already saw in the first 2 games that Blue Alliance, while at a deficit, came back and almost won the first and won the second narrowly. Now that they have the lead, I'm not sure if Dark Horses can make it happen, but if there's any time to make themselves known, it's going to be right now. Techno is going to be leading the charge for the Blue Lions with already 19 points on the board. That's half of their score. Both Alliances are going to be trying to get their trap notes as, oh, Autumn's going to have one of their notes bounce off of the speaker as another from Takanori also going to bounce off. Luis is going to get one in the end. Ducks got a note of their own aiming for the speaker. They're going to get it from the side angle. Just as I'm saying that, the Dark Horses are starting to pull this game back. It is 35 to 42. They are down, but just as we've seen Mechanical Disadvantage come back from a, well, disadvantage, the Dark Horses are also showing the same degree of ability to make a comeback happen. About a minute left in this match. 39 to 44 is our score. Trap notes are starting to get scored for both alliances. We won't know the exact score count until we reach 20 seconds. That's when those trap notes are going to be scored, when the end game is finally entered. 45 seconds left to go. Both alliances are just slowly racking up the points, and the Blue Alliance is still holding their lead. This is the first time they've held the lead the entire match, and they are not letting go of it. They are consistently getting more notes into the speaker, as Luis is having a bit of a trouble with the speaker on their own, but they're going to get a note in just as I say that. 3 red robots lined up. Oh, one of the notes doesn't quite make it in. Oh, 2 of the notes don't quite make it in. That's going to be really difficult for them to deal with. Techno is going to get a little bit too close to the safe zone, going to draw a foul for the Blue Alliance. 10 seconds left. The score is in the favor of Mechanical Disadvantage as the Red Alliance is trying to get their last second notes in. They're not going to make it happen, but can they get the climbs at the very least? With 1 second left, they're completely choking the climbs. And the Blue Alliance, with another consistent 92 on the board, is going to triumph over the 76 on the side of the Red Alliance. It's going to give the second match of this series, or sorry, the third match, but the second win for Mechanical Disadvantage. Techno, once again, I didn't call this out the last game, but they were the highest scoring player across both teams, and once again Techno coming out of nowhere. I don't even know if I knew this player from the last season, in our charged up season. Somebody can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but they're having a very strong showing from the beginning. Already 35 individual contribution, making a big difference on the team. And this time it's just lights out for Mechanical Disadvantage. Just increased scores across the board. They're showing they are here to play, and ain't nobody stopping them just yet. But we still got up to 2 more matches to play for. It is now match point, series point for Mechanical Disadvantage, but the Dark Horses can bring it back. Will they bring us to a game 5, or will this end in 4? We'll have to find out in about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Not too long. See, the wait's not as bad as it used to be. All right, game number 4 looks like has started between Dark Horses and Mechanical Disadvantage. Mechanical Disadvantage on the Blue Alliance is up 2-1 in this series, as Red Alliance is having a few difficulties. I don't know quite what the score is just yet, and I assume auto's about to end, but it looks like the Blue Alliance has a few less notes on the ground, so I'm going to assume that they likely have the score advantage. As, oh, it's actually really close. 2 minutes in, it looks like both alliances might have had struggles in the autonomous period. 9 notes for both alliances. Seems like 1 extra note was scored in auto, as notes scored in the speaker during auto are worth 5 points to the 2 points that they count in teleop. And the Blue Alliance being 3 points ahead means they most likely scored 1 more in auto, and that could be a huge difference, as one of the Red Alliance members, Takanori, is spending a lot of times trying to steal one of those notes without drawing a foul, but they're not going to quite make it happen in the end. And oh, one of the dark horses flies a little too close to the sun. Luis accidentally getting themselves a foul in the end, but the score is still extremely close. Dark horses, they were not nearly as behind as they were before. They're doing better than they were last match. Just as I say that, two of their notes just go flying to the ground. Autumn not quite making it happen, but Takanori managing to get a trap note for the Red Alliance. This Techno is going uncontested, going for the third trap note. That's going to be an extra 15 points when we reach the end game. As the Red Alliance will get their second set of trap notes scored. Score is 64 to 49. Blue Lines has a commanding lead at this point. I can't tell where the score is coming from. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they got some penalties, as the number of notes are pretty similar, so I don't really know where the score is coming from. There must have been some penalties that I didn't quite catch. 25 seconds, we are almost in the end game, and that's when the trap notes are going to come into play. Both lines should be getting 15 points on the board. There it is. Oh no! One of the Blue Lines robots, Evan, is getting kind of flipped and pushed into their area. Oh my goodness, what is happening? They go for the reset 6 seconds, but that might be enough to lose the game. What on earth did I just watch there? As robots are going to go up into the air and the time expires. It looked completely done for the Blue Lines, or rather a completed game for the Blue Lines, but Evan just got knocked over and shoved into the red hangar. I have no idea what the what the ruling was on that. The referee at the time would have called that. I assume.
So actually, on
Actually, I
that
guess that would be
topic,
something. Yeah.
we do have a call for this match. So during auto, there was a call for both Lewis and Duck, +5 per both teams. During the match, Blue had their score added. However, Red has not had their score added yet. So right now, we will add in their score, and then we'll switch to the result screen.
As the power of magic, everyone. The referee calls have already happened. So we shall wait eagerly to see what comes of this match. This is a very close match, as expected of this matchup. Extremely tight race. And is this our final score, Josh?
This is the final score for this match.
Alright, so it's going to be 111 to 100 for the Red Alliance. They are narrowly going to manage to make it happen. An unfortunate sequence there with Evan getting flipped into the opponents. I believe that's the stage area, if I remember correctly. Someone can correct me with that. And giving over a ton of climb points and some other penalty points, and not fun, to say the least. And that's going to net the Red Alliance their win, with Takanori taking the highest individual contribution at 42 points scored. And now we are on the match 5. The winner takes all in this first series of the Team League Series 2024. We will get to that very shortly here.
So apologies, stream. That final matchup, the final recording, and the final score was actually 116 to Red. For whatever reason, the penalty did not add on the final scoreboard, but the final score for Red was a 116. The final score for Blue is still the same. Both teams had one penalty.
Well, there you go. 116 to 100. Dark Horse is still taking the victory in that. That does not change our results, and we are still on to a game 5. Should be exciting to see who ends up taking it in this last match. Alright, here we go. The last match of Dark Horses versus Mechanical Disadvantage. Evan, Techno, and Duck versus Takanori, Autumn, and Luis. No no changes in players. I don't even know if that. I assume that's possible to do mid-series. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong on that. But for now, both alliances are happy running the players they have, running it back for the 5th match, as a lot of shoving is already going on. Techno trying to go for the trap notes, but they are getting contested this time by Takanori. No idea who's in the lead just yet, but I assume we probably have about a minute 45 left on the clock, somewhere around there at least. Actually, right on the money. Perfect. Red Alliance is behind, while the Blue Alliance has scored less points overall. They have managed to score more notes, most likely during that autonomous period, or there might be some fouls over there. I saw Techno light up for mechanical disadvantage, so actually maybe they lost some points there as Takanori is lining up for one shot into the speaker and it just got rejected. I don't know why that happened, but that's really unfortunate. They're gonna go for another one. Luis is gonna bounce off the side of the speaker, didn't quite make it in. Evan's gonna try and find a different angle to shoot from because there is just a note in the way, but that angle is not going to work. Evan's gonna manage to line it up the second time. They're gonna make that happen. Luis got 2 notes stuck in the robot, I believe. That's gonna be another foul for the side of Dark Horses. Is going to be a couple extra points for the Blue Alliance. Mechanical disadvantage. It's some pushing and shoving between Techno and Takanori. They really are not letting each other score trap notes, but they're both finding sneaky opportunities to make it happen. Techno, I think, got another double possession foul. There's a lot of those, it feels like, that are going around that, or there's some weird foul that I'm unsure of. Score is really even at this point with 25 seconds to go, to 68 to 62 for the Blue Alliance. They are in the lead, but with 20 seconds left, who knows what's going to happen. 87 to 74, that is a big lead for the Blue Alliance, as Duck is going to line up to climb onto the chains. They're going to wait for their partner. Evans is going to go for it with 10 seconds left. They do not want to risk a failure. Techno is going to go for one more shot with 4 seconds left. They're going to miss the note into the speaker. Can the Red Alliance get up onto their chains? And they, I think, managed to at least 1 or 2 of them, but it's not going to be enough. There's a 15-point gap in the end and mechanical disadvantage with a score of 98 to 83. It appears that they are going to take the first series of the Team League Series 2024, the series win of 3-2. Wait here for the official final results, just in case there were any rough shenanigans that game.
So there were some shenanigans that game, actually. We have one call.
There we go.
There was an incorrect call of rule G414, no full court shots on Lewis. So that means there is a subtraction of 2 from the blue team. Again, there is a -2 added to the blue team, but that shouldn't affect the outcome of the match. Let's see those results right now.
Here they come, the final score. It still says it's 98, but I'm pretty sure that's meant to be 96 most likely. Unless that got adjusted mid-match. I don't know. Doesn't really particularly matter what the score was. 96? Okay, perfect. Well, 96 to 83 is the final score. Evan's going to take the lead with a score of 42 individual contribution and mechanical disadvantage. After starting from a literal disadvantage in their first match, they really got it together. They've been consistently better in teleop the whole way through, and if not for that unfortunate accident in Game 4, they might have even taken a 3-1 series. So already right off the back, mechanical disadvantage is putting their name on the board. They're going to go 1-0 in their first week. While Dark Horses, they're going to go 1 loss in, but, you know, not the end of the world at all. We are only 1 week in, and there are a lot of weeks to play for, to say the least. There are a lot of matchups. So stay tuned, everyone. We've got a lot more matches incoming pretty soon. I'm not sure what our time schedule is on that. Josh, I think, can inform you guys on that. But pretty shortly here, we should have our next matchup coming up. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Team League Series 2024. We have our second matchup coming here, and I believe it is Orange Wolf versus Blackout. Let me quickly bring up the team lists here. I have to head over to the registered teams and find all the players. All right, for Orange Wolf, we have Nahar, Arc 10, Mekupellet, and Itachuk. I'm sorry if I butchered any of those. These are definitely not names I'm used to seeing. They're one of our newcomer teams, seeing a lot of new faces. And over on the Blue Alliance, we have Blackout, and that is going to be, funnily enough, my team. Spoilers, I don't play in this match. I know, shocking. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be commentating this. But the rest of the members, besides me, never saw is Emilio, Ginger, and Stell. Some pretty well-known names at this point. Definitely one of the hyped-up teams going into this event among quite a few others. There's actually quite a lot of teams that are really interesting going into this event, and it'll be really exciting to see how this first matchup goes, as we have a list of relatively unknown players versus a list of pretty well-known players at this point. And like I mentioned, on the side of Blackout, we have Stell Jr. and which is our good old Emilio. And on the Red Alliance, we have Nahar, Arcton, and I have no idea who 5038 is. Unfortunately, I don't have the list of players and things. Their problem for not setting their name correctly. Future PSA for everyone, please set your name in-game to whatever your username is. Maybe that's what 5038 decided, but I have a feeling that might not be what they wanted to be called. So we're just going to have to guess whoever this is. I'm probably just going to call them 50 for the sake of my own sanity. And we will get underway shortly here.
Just to let people know, these are pre-recorded, so I have no idea when they start, but it looks like this one's starting right now. So let's get going.
2, 1.
Huzzah. All right, the first match of Orange Wolf versus Blackout has now started. Blackout starting off very strong with 12 points already. 14 points on the board. They're starting to get a couple notes, but they are having a lot of whiffs, as having some difficulties. As Arctan looks like they might have gotten a double possession penalty, unfortunately, or something else. They're having some troubles getting notes into the speaker. They do manage to get one note, but this is already a huge lead for Blackout. 2 minutes to go, 34 to 11. That is a huge notes difference, and 7 to 1. It's got 16 right now, and they're trying to get some more points on the board. As Arcten is unfortunately our first case of a negative points contribution. I am so sorry. What does it believe that they can manage to get a note scored in the speaker? They are trying their best to make it happen. It would be very tragic to see someone's first game be a -1, as there we go, there's the 1 points. Perfect, that's what we wanted to see. This is definitely a blowout of a game to start with, 45 to 19, but we've already seen from the Dark Horses Mechanical Disadvantage series that comebacks can happen. It is looking very rough as the score lead is just mounting higher and higher. Oh, okay, Ginger just sent one flying to the moon. Accidentally got themselves a little parked up on the subwoofer, and that did not go very well. It looks like Blackout is trying to get their trap notes scored. We've got 1 scored so far. I can't tell if there's 2 or 3. It's a little hard. Unfortunately, the angling of the camera makes it hard to notice how many trap notes there are. We will know in 30 seconds. But the score is decisively in their advantage. Another 5 points being picked up for Stell, touching one of the Orange Wolf robots in their safe zone, but another 5 points were traded back, as I believe Ginger made a bit of an oopsie, and Stell's not going to quite score like they wanted to. Going to get that note in the end with 30 seconds left. Nahar, unfortunately, looks like drew another penalty. 84 to 36 is a really rough game to come back to with 20 seconds remaining. How many trap notes? We got 2 trap notes scored for the Blue Alliance. Blackout is almost double the score of Orange Wolves. And with 10 seconds left, they're going to get their last-minute speakers shot scored. 2 robots trying to climb side by side, and Stell trying to get up with 2 seconds remaining. They're both going up. It looks like Stell might be a little bit dangling off the side. I can't quite tell if they made it in the end. Ginger looks like they're up, and a couple Orange Wolf robots managed to get up into the sky. But this is a pretty clear-cut match, 113 to 62. Blackout's going to take their first win of the Team Week series, but they still got at least 2 more, if not 4 more matches to play. Orange Wolf had a bit of a rough start to this match, but we'll have to see if they can come back and make it happen. The note scoring difference, though, is huge, 13 to 26. That's going to be a lot to overcome, but anything can happen in a 5-game series. Best of 5s are quite scary like that. And our last little note is taking the individual contribution with 52 points already. Goodness gracious, that is a lot of scored points. So we will have to see what ends up happening in the second match. All right, second match of Orange Wolf versus Blackout is now started. Both alliances going off to a strong start. One speaker note scored for Orange Wolves. Blackout's already scored 3 with 17 seconds, 16, 15. It's going to be 4-2 in the end. It's going to be a 10-point advantage for Blackout going into the tele-operated period, as both these alliances are having some serious struggles scoring in the speaker. Az is going to give up on that and just going to try and score into the trap notes. You're going to line it up, and oh my goodness, they're having some difficulties. This is not quite the game we saw from Blackout last time. Just as I say that, they managed to get a note scored in the end. Took them a little bit of effort, but Blackout's starting to pick up their momentum a little bit. Orange Wolf is having a couple struggles. One of the unfortunate parts, if you miss a lot of notes in front of the subwoofer, is it is really hard to actually get into the area to continue scoring. There's this notes in the way. They get in front of your robot. They don't like making your shots easy. And especially with Stell just coming over and interfering with that area, this is becoming exceptionally difficult for Orange Wolf to get much happening. As actually Blackout's getting a couple penalties. I'm not sure what's quite going on there. They just kind of gave over 10 points for free to the side of Orange Wolves. Oh, 5038 is going to take a pretty big hit onto the side of the subwoofer. Luckily, they aren't going to get themselves beached up there. It is possible to beach the mini drone on the subwoofer. It's not fun. Don't do it. Cannot recommend trying that at home. And luckily that did not happen to them in the end, as Stell's getting a little bit greedy and giving over a lot of penalties. The score is now 54-51. Blackout is kind of choking the lead they had, the small lead they had. This is a night and day difference from their last game, as Orange Wolves are actually in the lead with 34 seconds left to go. Trap notes are still in play. We don't know what the score is from those just yet. We will know in 8 seconds, but the blue lines is down. Blackout might end up losing the second game here despite such a dominating performance in the first match. 20 seconds to go. They are now in the lead thanks to their trap notes, so they do have a slight advantage, but this is going to be a really tense 12 seconds in the end game. Jinder and Ah are trying to make their last shots happen. Ah is trying to climb. Estelle is going for a last second speaker shot. 5038 is trying to go back. The Red Alliance is trying to score together on the chains. They're all trying to get up with 1 second to remain. Who's going to win this match? It's going to be Blackout, just barely, with a score of 82-74. As of right now, they do have the victory, which would put them 2-0 up, with actually the Red Alliance, Orange Wolves, though, getting the highest individual contribution on Arctan. Whoa, that was a tense game. Was not expecting that. A lot of points went over to the Red Alliance. A lot of slip-ups from Blackout, and they were moments away from dropping a game in only their second match. A very impressive showing here from Orange Wolf, trying to claw back from their first loss, and they almost managed to make it happen, but it is not to be. It is now series point for the side of Blackout with 2-0 and up. Can they keep their mental in the game? Can Orange Wolf come back and make a reverse sweep happen? We will have to find out in the third match.
So, as y'all can see, we kind of have two types of recordings here. We have ones where they start immediately after the recording begins, and there are ones where they haven't even started yet after like 30 seconds of the recording begins. So, just bear with us as we wait for these to begin, because it's not super easy for me to kind of fast forward through all of them.
Oh, you get to enjoy the players in their natural habitat, trying to practice some things, doing some shenanigans. See both teams trying to practice picking up notes, climbing on the chains, scoring shots in the speaker, as having a couple of difficulties on that one. It's always cool to watch players training, getting ready for it. And just as I say that, as everybody stops, they're going to go down to the countdown. And we have our third and possibly final match on the way. Series point for Blackout. They're going to have to try and make this, well, a proper Blackout. Haha, funny, I know. Great name. 10 out of 10. And they are already off to a huge point lead, much better than the last match, 36-18. Orange Wolf is going to have a lot of ground to cover, but they already showed that they were close to making it happen in the previous game. Anything goes, as we've already seen from the last 7 matches or so. But Blackout is really trying to not to have a repeat of their oopsies from the last game. There were a lot of penalties that went over to Orange Wolf as, oh my goodness, is getting knocked over and flung into the opponent's stage. That's a bit of a roughie, but luckily no penalties this time. It's not the end game. They're not going to get penalized for being stuck in that area. Has some interceptions going on as Az trying to get some points. Nahar is going to fly a little bit too close to the sun. Going to give over 5 points to Blackout. A bit of a roughie, giving over extra points like that as the trap shots are trying to be lined up. It's, oh my goodness, I have never seen that before. What even happened to that note? Az trying to get the note, and luckily due to some good climber movement, they're going to manage to knock the note off the chain. But what on earth was that? A minute and 5 seconds to go, and I'm learning new things already. There's a huge note pile up on the Red Alliance's side. Stella is going to get flung up into the air as a result of getting 2 notes. They were trying to be a little bit greedy. They're being held in the air by 50-38. This is an absolutely messy match so far. Blackout does have the lead by 10 points. They have at least 1 trap note in their stage already. 40 seconds to go. It is still their advantage by a good margin, as 50-38 is going to draw a foul somewhere along the way, probably one of the safe boundaries, guessing by the fact that they went gray there. As Nahar is going to get a little bit too close to the safe zone as well. They do not seem to be quite aware of the safe zones. Is kind of pushing 50-38 around the map. Ginger, it looks like they're going to possibly get some... Oh my goodness, there's too many fouls for me to count at this point. Blackout is taking a huge lead. Pending some ref shenanigans, this game is looking pretty dunzo for Blackout. With 5 seconds left, there's not really much else to say, as all the robots of Blackout are trying to climb into the air. Oz going to get their last second climb. And for Orange Wolves, it looks like they got at least 1, maybe 2 robots into the air. But that is going to be a pretty blowout third victory for Blackout. Josh, we got any ref calls here?
We do have a ref call from this. We are taking away 5 points from Red for a legal reset after being tipped. This was for Stell, and that means that Red will lose 5 points. Now, will it actually update on the score breakdown? Let's find out. It hasn't been doing that so far. And no, it hasn't.
Test. Nope. That's all right. It's the first series. We're figuring out the kinks. It'll work next time. But for now, the score is going to be 126-64. That is going to be a clean sweep for Blackout, 3-0 in the series. That is going to be their first win. I feel like that's kind of a... Sorry, my brain short-circuited here. Give me a second. COVID brain happened. Give me a moment to redial my my surroundings. A very strong showing, though, from Orange Wolf as a starting point for a completely unknown team. None of these players are known, and coming up with a solid score showing of their own is a great start to their season. They did come across Blackout, which is one of the more higher-level teams in this event. And, you know, putting up a fight against them is not a bad thing at all. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because Blackout is my team, but I am trying my best to not let any of that bias show in my commentary. But yeah, for Blackout, first victory of the season. and they are going to go 1-0 in the standings. Orange Wolf is 0-1, and with that, we are going to move on to our third series, which is, per the info I am being given, just double check this one. It looks to be Mechanical Mayhem versus the Mod Squad. So with that, we're going to take a short break. I need a sanity break, apparently, because I lost my brain in the last match afterwards. So we'll be back in a couple minutes with our next match of the Team League Series 2024.
Let's have some real talk with Josh. This is a lot. Like there's so many buttons I need to press every time this match needs to get started. It's like I gotta switch so many things in OBS. It's honestly it's crazy. So sorry that I haven't been keeping up with chat, or that I might have sometimes keep missing the button press for the scoreboard to show up. But we're working it out. There's just so many buttons for me to press. Like it's honestly there's too many. I gotta type matches in. I gotta. There's so much going on.
In comparison, my job's easy. I just have to talk.
Yeah, you just have to talk. I just gotta press all these buttons and type all these things. Lucky you.
Well, speaking of talking, I will use that to bring us into our, I believe this is our third series of the Team League Series 2024 stream. And this is going to be between Mechanical Mayhem and the Mod Squad. We're going to have Mechanical Mayhem on the Red Alliance. Let me pull up their list. I think this is the team I accidentally started reading off earlier, and that's going to be Winrich 5, Sammy Pants, Flying Dragon, and Piraba. Piraba? I think that's correct. And for our Mod Squad, one of the beloved Team League Series teams, I don't know when they originated, but they were definitely in the last one, and they were a fan favorite to be sure. Let's pull up their list of team members. It is going to be Tay, Nick, and Kabi. And that is the Tay, the moderator Tay, not the Taylu, which I think we might be seeing in a different series at some point. But this is definitely one of our beloved teams over in the second robotics community. And hopefully we see some fun things from them. And the Mechanical Mayhem has some names that have been around the server before, but I don't think I've really seen them in an official capacity. Oh my goodness, are we seeing the loading screen, the turntable? Oh, we saw it for like a second. Well, that's better than nothing. First matchup's going to start between Mechanical Mayhem and the Mod Squad. Tay, Nick, and Kabi for the Mod Squad are playing, while Paraba, Sammy Pants, and Flying Dragon will be taking things for the Mechanical Mayhem, which I think means their captain is not playing, just like Blackout. They're going without their captain this time around, as the score is in favor of Mechanical Mayhem from the start, 26-21. Mod Squad's got a lot of ground to cover, as these notes in the speaker are only going to be 2 points. Unfortunately, we don't really have robots capable of doing consistent speaker setups, so until we get that point, it's pretty much just 2 points per. Trap notes are worth a lot as a result, as Paraba is playing some great hybrid gameplay here, going to be knocking Kabi and Nick off their balance. They're not really going to get too much scoring done. With a minute 35 left, Mechanical Mayhem is putting themselves on the board fast. These might be players that are not too well known in the community compared to the Mod Squad especially, but they're really making things happen, as Paraba's going to get caught on the chains under the stage. It's going to make a couple hiccups for them as they try and reorient themselves. With a minute 15 to go, 42-34. Oh no, Sammy Pants gets a little too close to the safe zone, as Tay is not letting them leave. They're getting bullied into the safe zone. They were trying to go for a note, and they bit off more than they can chew. It's going to be a total of 10 points for the Mod Squad right off the bat. With a minute left in this game, actually down to 52 now. 48-41. The Mod Squad did get a lot of points back, but they still need to score points in their speaker. They are down a lot of notes. Flying Dragon is getting pushed into the other safe zone. There's a lot of bullying going on from the Mod Squad. They're not letting their opponents, Mechanical Mayhem, make much happen. And they're really just trying to get a lot of points. I don't even know if either alliance has scored any trap notes yet. That might be our first matchup where that's happened. We'll know in 1 second as it goes over to the end game. And yes, neither alliance has scored any trap notes. No trap notes for this time around. The score is neck and neck with 12 seconds left to go. The Red Alliance is starting to try and climb, so their score is going to be a little bit higher with 8 seconds to go. The Blue Alliance is going to climb as well, but I think their points are not high enough. Kabi's going to get a little bit beached on the back of the chains, and they're not going to quite get up. Tay is having a couple difficulties making up as well, as that's going to be time. Mechanical Mayhem off to a strong start with a score of 65-55. Wow, not quite what I was expecting going into this matchup, knowing the players on the Mod Squad and not knowing the players on the side of Mechanical Mayhem, but hey, that's the beauty of the Team League series, right? Up-and-coming players can make their names known, and they certainly have so far, taking their first win, pending any referee things. I don't know if there's any shenanigans there.
No shenanigans there.
I'm gonna take that as probably, yep. No commentary is good commentary. That means no shenanigans going on. Josh has confirmed it for us, and that means Mechanical Mayhem takes the first game in their series. with Paraba taking the individual contribution score of 27. So we will get into the second match. Mechanical Mayhem on the Red Alliance, leading our series 1-0. Let's see if the Mod Squad can pull it back in their second match.
It's going to be the Mod Squad, I'm going to tell you right now. Just knowing what the Mod Squad has done in the past, this big comeback coming here.
It may well be a Mod Squad differential, that is for sure. You never want to count these lads out. I remember them from the Team League series. They're a lot scarier than you'd imagine.
Just to kind of throw myself in there real quick. In case you guys didn't know who that was, that is Ricardo. Ricardo, if you'd like to introduce yourself real quick. He's kind of our backup for today in case Evie's voice just gives up, which would be really unfortunate, but we do have a backup.
Yep, hello, my name's Ricardo. I've been around the SRC community. I've done Team League series in the past, so I'm happy here to be on for Crescendo this year. Let's have a good rest of these matches here, shall we?
Indeed, that is. And I believe we'll be getting into the second match shortly as Josh puts everything together. Thank you again to Josh for being one of our new streamers for the XRC, the SRC, I guess is more correct. And really just kind of putting things together. Without this, we wouldn't have a stream today right now, and that would not be fun. No stream is sad. So thankfully we can get these matchups to you guys so everyone's not just waiting in suspense and people don't accidentally leak information about the game. Because it does suck a little bit when results get a little bit leaked. Kind of takes some of the fun out of it, that's for sure. Although inevitably for me, unfortunately, there's a slight leakage of who won the Blackout series, which is kind of inevitable considering, you know, that's kind of my team. That's my team that I lead, and me not knowing the results would be very concerning. Although actually I didn't know how many matches it went to. I just knew the end result. But you know, we do our best to try and make that not obvious, and hopefully that won't happen again with me commentating my own team. But actually, you know, maybe I won't even have the chance because I might even be playing those, but who knows? It looks like they're kind of messing around a little bit, waiting for the match to start. As I think that's going to be right now. Perfect timing. I said just enough things to cover the dead time, and that means we're going to the second match between Mechanical Mayhem and the Mod Squad. As it's starting off already difficult from the side of Sammy Pants, going to get stuck with 2 notes in their robot. That's going to be a lot of points dropping already, as both alliances are having some serious struggles scoring any notes in the speaker. No one's going to get any meaningful score right out of the gates. 16-13 with 2 minutes to go. These alliances are having a little bit of a struggle. There are a lot of notes piling up on the side of Mechanical Mayhem, and oh no, Flying Dragon's gonna get stuck with 2 notes in the robot. That's gonna be a double possession right away. They're getting flung up in the sky. They're gonna manage to get rid of those notes eventually, but that's gonna be a rough one to be sure. Mod Squad's gonna take a lead as a result. They are scoring more in the speaker. They're definitely making things happen as Tay is kind of just roaming around in the middle of their stage. I think, yeah, she's seen a note on the ground. Gonna go move on over and climb. Oh, well, okay. Tried scoring a trap note, the cheeky method, perhaps the more standard IRL method, but definitely not the method we traditionally see. Tay is trying to cook something new and fresh for us on the SRC group, but it's not going to work out that time. Tay's going to try and pick up another note, and with the score to 32-27, Tay is going to go for a round 2. Will she make it this time? No, she doesn't even get the hooks this time. Let's go for a round 2.5. She's going to get up in the air. She's going to go for the trap, and it doesn't quite work out. I do understand the attempt to make this, though. 5 points and such a low-scoring, close series overall. mostly the close series part, not necessarily the low scoring part, is really important. But it is true that in these lower scoring matches, that 5 points is going to make a big deal. And right as I say that, Sammy Pants is going to go flying into the blue lines, the safe area towards their pickup zone, and get a double possession. That's going to be a lot of points over to the mod squad. With 17 seconds left to go, they did manage to score a trap note this time. Good job, the mod squad. 11 seconds left. The score is up 20 points. It's going to be really hard for Mechanical Mayhem to get anything back on their side. 5 seconds left. One robot from Mod Squad is going up. Cobby's trying to go up as well. I can't quite see if Nick made it. I think Nick might have made it. And on the side of Mechanical Mayhem, they got 1 or 2 robots up, but that's not going to make a very big difference. The Mod Squad is going to even this back up with a much more commanding victory. While their auto might have been a little bit rough, their ability to score trap notes and ability to avoid a lot of these penalties is going to let them net their second win of, or rather their first win in the second match of this series. We are now tied up 1-1. We'll have to see what goes on in the third match. So while we wait for this third match to start, I have a bit of a fun detail to share with all y'all around here. Me and Ricardo actually go way back where we played together. I believe it was one of the Rapid React tournaments. I forget what the event is. You can check it in the Event Hall of Fame chat.
The Orion Regional, yes.
Yeah, the Orion Regional. Me, Logan, 4476, and Ricardo went sicko mode, just as we're going to see here now in this match, hopefully from perhaps both of these teams. That would make a very entertaining match, as unfortunately my point gets a little bit cut short. Mechanical Mayhem, they are now tied up. They don't have that advantage anymore, as Sammy Pants is having a couple difficulties with trying to score their notes into the speakers. But, you know, just as I say that, I look over to the Mod Squad, and they've scored a whopping 0 notes in their speaker. They are down very bad in points. They are starting to manage to score a couple speaker notes now, and unfortunately the penalties from the Mechanical Mayhem is going to make things a little more difficult in the long term, as Mod Squad is really trying to get those trap notes scored. Tay is trying to go for the score. They are no longer cooking up the chain scoring, but Paraba's going to run in and run some interference. As, oh my goodness, so many notes are getting bounced off the speaker from both sides. The score is incredibly close right now. Tay is really trying to make these trap notes happen, but it's just not really working out. Let's see if Tay can prove me wrong on that one. We'll see Cobby trying to get a note from their loading area. I have no idea what the name of that is. Game announcer, by the way. And Nick is going to pick up one a lot more easily than their teammate and try and go back to score that into the speaker. They're going to be successful, as Mechanical Mayhem is now running into some issues of their own, trying to pick up these notes and score them. We got 3 robots ready to score. 1 doesn't quite make it, 2 doesn't quite make it, and that second one's going to mess up Flying Dragon. They're not going to quite be able to be in position, as a third one goes down as well. Mod Squad is actually taking the lead. I don't know if any trap notes have been scored, but Mod Squad is somehow pulling this off. Tay is trying to go for the spicy shot. It's not going to quite work out, as Cobby finally gets one into the trap. That's going to be 5 points. That could be a huge difference for the Mod Squad, as the game is so close. It is incredibly close. I cannot stress how close this match is, as 25 seconds to go, 36-31, but there's still the trap notes to play for, and Cobby gets a second one. That could be huge for the Mod Squad. They're going to go up 10 points. They're now in the lead by 6-7 points. This is an incredibly close match. 13 seconds left to go. There's a lot of tussling going on over the Mod Squad's sorry, I almost called 2022 moment. Their whole thing, Flying Dragon's gonna do a full court shot for some reason. They're gonna go try and climb on the chains, but they're gonna miss it in the end. And Mod Squad narrowly managing to pull that out. The hat is the hat is out of the bag. The hat is out of the cat. I don't know anymore. That was some great stuff from Kabi, managing to make it happen, get those 2 trap notes, and you can see 10 points right there made a massive difference for the Mod Squad. 58 to 47. There was a lot of tussling. Josh, we got any ref calls that happened on that match?
No ref calls on that match. We're gonna keep trucking along with these.
Perfect. That's going to be the 58 to 47 for the Mod Squad. They will be up 2-1. It is now series points for Mod Squad. These have been some highly, very high entertainment value matches, to be sure. These are close ones. Unfortunately, it looks like the Red Alliance, we have a bit of a negative score, a bit of a rough one. But Mechanical Mayhem, they did already win a match. I believe in them to win another match, as Kabi has been silently getting pretty high contribution points for the Mod Squad. So with that, we can go into our 4th match, and we'll see what happens from here. Anything can happen, as we've seen. Looks like this match also featured our lovely Jeff the Ref in the ref box. I'm assuming, at least, considering I saw Jeff's name pop up in the bottom right corner. But thank
Can't
you as
confirm.
well to all of our referees. Oh, yep, go ahead.
Can confirm Jeff the Ref did ref. Oh my god, that's hard to say. Jeff the Ref refed all of these matches.
Heck yeah, Jeff
That's
the
not an onomatopoeia, is
MVP.
that what that's called? Jeff the ref, yeah?
No, Jeff the Rift. We're going all over the place. And speaking of riffs, though, we're gonna riff some jams. Is that the word? I don't know. You know, there was an attempt made. Mechanical Mayhem, you know, they're in the lead right now. That's what matters. 21 to 9. They have a pretty even score contribution across the board. Flying Dragon already making up for last game. Meanwhile, Nick says, I take your -2 and I will raise it to -5. It's going to go down to -3, but that is the most negative points we've seen. Congratulations to Nick for that achievement. But Nick is not going to be too happy with that one. They're going to want to try and even up the score for the Mod Squad. They are on series point. They would rather not have to go to a game 5. Nick is now in the positive for their score contribution. 34 to 17 is our score. Now, Kabi did score 2 of the trap notes for the Mod Squad, and they made a huge difference. So right now, actually, right as I say that, it looks like Kabi's going to go for the trap note. Can they make it in? Oh my goodness! What is that note doing balancing on the trap like that? What is that? What am I looking at? Nick is going to get stuck under the stage. This is a disaster for the Mod Squad. He is proper wedged under the stage, but Tay is going to come in clutch, manage to reposition their teammate. I think one trap note might have made it in courtesy of Kabi, thank goodness. As about a minute left, this is going tragic for the Mod Squad, as Tay is going to drop like 2-3 penalties. I don't know. The score is heavily in favor of Mechanical Mayhem at this point. 50 seconds to go. This is looking pretty donezo for the Mod Squad. That was such an unfortunate trap note, but it looks like it finally got scored in the end. Plenty of notes flying across the field. That's a full court shot penalty going on. I believe that might be 2 points. Someone could correct me if that's wrong. I believe fouls are 2 points. Technical fouls are 5. Prava is having a few difficulties picking up this note with 26 seconds to go. You know, as I was saying that, Mod Squad, I thought that there was no way they could pull this game back, but it's 20 seconds left, and they are actually making it happen. 66 to 62. These trap notes are making a huge difference. 15 seconds left. This is everything to play for. Penalties have to be avoided. 10 seconds left. Everybody needs to get up onto the stage. The Mechanical Mayhem is greeting for a couple more shots in the speaker. They make it happen with 3 seconds left. All the robots are trying to go up onto the chains, and with 0 seconds left, it is going to be Mechanical Mayhem managing to eke out the victory. Mod Squad almost managed to pull the comeback after a tragic early start to that match, but in the end, Mechanical Mayhem keeps it calm and collected. they're going to manage to get up into the sky. Josh, we got any ref calls on that one? That was a bit of a penalty-infested match, that's for sure.
No ref calls over here. We got one more match to go for this series.
All right, we got another 5-game series on our side. Absolutely amazing stuff. This is definitely a close series. Both teams are playing for all the marbles. And it's hard to say who's going to make this happen. We actually had a tied individual contribution with Sammy Pants and Kabi at 26. And Nick in the end managing to get up to 10. Congratulations, Nick, for managing to score a total of effectively 15 points or something like that. And we'll get into the 5th and final match of Mechanical Mayhem versus the Mod Squad. All right, the last match of Mechanical Mayhem versus the Mod Squad. Everything to play for. 2-2 is the series. This last match decides everything. 3 seconds left to go in the autonomous period. Last second speaker shots are coming in, and the score is going to be 29-21 coming out of autonomous for the Mechanical Mayhem. They are starting off strong, but these scores can flip very rapidly, especially if the Mod Squad gets some more trap notes, as now the Red Alliance Mechanical Mayhem is trying to make these trap notes happen. Sammy Pants is trying to line it up, but Tay's going to give a little quick nudge. They're not going to get the lineup they want. It's going to bounce off as Kabi is being consistent and reliable for Mod Squad. That's 5 points on the board when they reach the end game. Sammy Pants is trying to replicate, but they're having difficulties as one of their teammates might be having a few connection issues. They're not quite able to drive over where they want to. Flying Dragon is trying to get this note. They were having a few struggles, but they're back in the game now. The score is 42-27 for the Red Alliance. And Sammy Pants is looking for another trap note. Oh my goodness, was that Kabi with the full points? Oh no, the game has vanished temporarily. The game is now back. 1 minute 12 seconds. Sorry about that, everyone. Oh my goodness gracious. Sammy Pants accidentally gets penalized there, 58-38 for the Red Alliance. They are in the lead by a lot. There's a lot of tussling in the middle of the field. These robots are going like just back and forth and back and forth. Everyone's fighting for these notes on the ground as, oh, Prava is getting shoved and almost flipped over. It's a lot of circles going on for pinning as, oh no, a traffic jam caused by Tay for the Mod Squad. It looks like they might have 2 or 3 trap notes, but the Red Alliance has at least one of their own. The scores when we get into the end game are going to be so close, so incredibly tight score margins. 27 seconds to go. Mechanical Mayhem does have the advantage for now. We're down to the last couple seconds before the notes start getting counted, and it's 71-65. It really is anything to play for the 5th match of this series. 13 seconds left. The Mod Squad is starting to pull it back. 72-76, 74-76. Mod Squad starting to go up in the sky with 6 seconds left. Can Nick make it up in time? 4 seconds left. Tay's going up in the sky. Tay cannot quite make it happen. They're getting stuck on the chain. What is happening to their climber? What on earth did I just see? That was one of the most tragic losses I've perhaps ever seen. Josh, we got any ref calls on this one?
We actually have more than just a ref call. If we were at an actual event, teams would hear this sound. One moment, please. My soundboard isn't working. Teams would hear this sound in an actual event. Yeah, that means that there's something went seriously wrong with that match. I'm going to read an official statement from the ref. Just give me 1 moment to pull that up. Okay, Game 5.
Go.
There was a glitched foul on a blue robot. resulting in -2 for red. However, that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem was this match there was a climber glitch on the blue alliance, causing no climb to happen. The match will be replayed due to rules E13 and E10 respectively. So we'll have a six match series, as this one has to be replayed.
Wow. What a way to kind of conclude almost this insane game, is to just say, screw it, we're doing it all again. So we will get that 6 match to you guys shortly. Quite a crazy game. As we can see, though, it is still everything to play for these two alliances. And we will get into the technically game 5 very, very shortly here.
As you can see, before starting this match, our ref has kindly asked Tay not to glitch onto the chains, so we'll hopefully get this match started soon, and hopefully Tay won't just glitch again.
SRC can be a little goofy about that with some bugs happening, but actually with that, thank you as well to the devs of this game. Pretty much this is kind of almost right now a solo show from Gluten Dad, the absolute MVP of this game. Without Gluten Dad putting in so much work, we would not be able to do what we're doing now. So everyone, a thank you to Gluten Dad, please. Can we get that in the chat? As we go into our 6th match, for providing us with this amazing game that we all get to play and celebrate together. And we can also celebrate the fact that there's notes going into the sky being fired off like fireworks or something. I guess they heard my calls for action on that one, as, oh my goodness, we are off to the the side of the world or something. I don't know what quite happened there, but a minute 55, 21-18. The Mod Squad is taking the lead in this match. Them being ahead is a good start to this. Sammy Pants is trying to score a trap note. It looks like Kabi was successful with scoring one of the trap notes for the Blue Alliance. Gonna try and go for a second one. It is really impressive how these players have managed to get quite consistent with the trap notes. Sammy Pants is trying, but having a couple difficulties. Right as I say that, Kabi's not gonna quite make it, but it's all right. Sometimes the lineup isn't quite right. These are really tricky to do. This robot was definitely not intended to do this from the get-go. And the fact that it even can is an impressive finding from these players. You can really see the min-maxing nature of a lot of these SRC players. Copy's going to get that second trap note scored for the Mod Squad. They're going to aim for the third, and it looks like that one's successful. So with a minute 5 left, Mod Squad is going to be 15 points up, while the Mechanical Mayhem is going to get a trap note of their own score. They might even have 2. I can't tell from this angle. But right now, Mod Squad does have the score advantage going into the end game. Looks like only 1 trap note for the Red Alliance. Says, oh, a great bump from Tay is going to cause some problems trying to get that second trap note in. Tay is not letting this happen for Ree. Paraba fires a note across the field accidentally. That's going to cause a penalty that will go over to the Mod Squad. With 24 seconds left, we're about to see the score coming down from the trap notes as the Mod Squad is in the lead by almost 20 points. They're going to narrow the gap a little bit on the Red Alliance, but with 13 seconds left, it's looking pretty lights out for them. They have a commanding advantage. Hopefully no more weird climber stuff going on as Tay is going to try and go up, Cobby's going to try and go up, Nick's trying to go up. They're all trying to go up, while Mechanical Mayhem, they're struggling to get on the chains, and they're all trying to make it happen. Cobby's not going to quite make it up, and in the end, the Mod Squad has the victory with a score of 64 to Mechanical Mayhem's 50. What an incredibly well fought match. Just gonna do a quick check-in. Josh, no more ref calls, nothing crazy going on this time?
Nothing crazy going on this time. This is the last match for this stream that you'll see the Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad managing to take it in the end. Congratulations to the Mod Squad for a very tight 6-game series here. Unfortunate that the 5th game went the way it did. We have no idea how that would have gone, and it's very unfortunate that the game bugged out like that, but thankfully those things are not too commonplace, and both teams really gave it their all. Mechanical Mayhem started off strong, and both teams showed that they are here to play for this event. And with that, the Mod Squad will be going up 1-0 in the standings, and Mechanical Mayhem will drop on their first game to 0-1. But with it only being the first week, there is so much to play for. And with that, we will go to a short break for, I think this may be our, oh yes, this is probably the most hyped matchup of the week. This is one that people have very much been looking forward to, I'm sure, and it is going to be the Underdogs versus Redacted. A massive Clash of the Titans coming up. Don't go away, everyone. We'll be back in a couple minutes with that amazing match coming to you shortly.
Hey everyone, this is going to be about a 5-minute break, so if you're doing anything, come back here at 5:25 EST. We just need to take a break for two more minutes. Sorry, I am losing my mind. 2 more matchups are coming up. We just want to take a little bit of a bigger break so that everybody can recharge their voices. We'll be back in 5. Enjoy the music until then.
Welcome back, everyone, to Team League Series 2024 for our fourth and quite possibly the biggest matchup of the day. We have an amazing Week 1 matchup coming up right now. It is going to be the the ironically named underdogs, and you're going to be going up against hold up here. I need to find this before I can start this again. We gotta find this here. Give me 1 second. I gotta start this. Here it is. All right. For Redacted, we have the beautiful quote: "Gaining and losing Elo has nothing to do with skill. It has to do with matchups." And well, as I aptly said, Redacted, among many other quotes that unfortunately I was not around to see a lot of those. But between these two teams, these are two of our most hyped up teams going into this tournament, and for a good reason. These players are known. These players have seen huge results, many wins, championship wins, event wins. The number of medals is insane across both of these teams. So we'll have to see what comes up for these two teams. And actually, speaking of which, let me actually introduce our players. For the underdogs, we have Dak, Matthew, Rob, and Taylor. An amazing lineup of players going up against another amazing lineup of players with the three-man squad of Redacted: Brennan, Logan, and Brandon, all from 4476. The squad is here, and this is going to be I cannot understand or understate just how crazy this matchup is going to be. I have no clue what's coming. This has been the most excited thing, or the most excitement I've had for a while. This is just going to be an amazing match. We are starting off with Tay, Dak, and Matthew for the underdogs. We will not be seeing Rob right now. And both these teams are just going to go right off the gate. We have Breb, Bidon, and Logan. That would be Brennan and Brandon. I'm definitely not gonna get those two confused at any point. And right off the bat, look at the score across the board. What did I just see from the underdogs? They are up 46-21. What an amazing autonomous. Already 8 notes in the speaker. We have an insanely competitive match right out of the gates. 2 minutes left to go. Dak, Matthew, and Tay are all reaching 20 contribution. We're going to have a crazy high scoring match, I think, across this entire series, as Logan's going to get themselves a penalty, flying a bit too close to the sun. Breb is going to have the same happen to them as well. Whoopsie doopsie, that happens sometimes. The speaker note's not going to go quite right. Redacted is not quite getting their footing going into this match. They're already down 77-31. What an amazing performance so far from the underdogs. They're very much showing that they are quite not, in fact, the underdogs here. They are very much the favorites right now. The minute and 18 seconds to go, 90-35. The underdogs are making this score go crazy. And it looks like the trap notes are already filled for the Red Alliance as well. I don't even know if any trap notes have happened for Redacted. This is going complete lights out for the Red Alliance. Of course, anything can still happen and there is still 55 seconds left to play. A lot of penalties can happen, but this autonomous was so strong from underdogs. It's just going to be a huge uphill battle. Dak's having a couple struggles with the notes just as I say that, all of the underdogs miss their notes into the speaker. Tay's having a couple difficulties. Matthews is going to take care of all the notes. Taze is going to say, screw this, I got better places to be, as Matthews going to clean up his mess. Almost not quite a full court shot, but a semi-court shot from Tay. I believe that did not count as a penalty. I assume that might be legal then. 20 seconds to go. Trap notes are now scored. 135 to 60. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even know how to really say it or what to really say about this. This is absolute domination from underdogs. With 5 seconds left, Matthew might be tipped over, but it doesn't really matter too much. Two of the underdogs are going to go up into the sky, with Dak and Tay getting up, and at least two, maybe three of Redacted getting up, but it's not going to matter. The score is more than double on the side of underdogs. 144 to Redacted 71. What a crazy blowout of a first match. Underdogs are going to be up 1-0 in the series, but considering the quality of the players on both sides, it was a tragic autonomous period. You can see 46 to 21 for the side of Redacted. They had a rough time starting out, but if there's anyone you can't count out of the game, it's this duo of Logan and Brennan, an amazing, legendary duo. Going way back in the days of SRC, far back, well beyond my time. And with the help of Brendan on their team as well, anything goes in this matchup. As we're just going to get straight into the second match. Is going to be underdogs likely in the lead right now. Yep, they're a little bit in the lead as a couple struggles are happening for the side of Redacted. The score is actually pretty much the same as it was last time. Red Alliance is really consistent with getting a lot of scores. The score 46 to 30. It's not quite as impressive of a game right now as the last one so far, as Redacted is finally starting to put up some good scores of their own. Right as I say that, unfortunately, commentators cursed the side of the Blue Alliance as they miss a couple shots in their speaker. Trap notes are getting scored. That's going to be 2 for the Red Alliance. Matthew's trying to make it a third, but that note is just stuck on the top of the trap note. I don't even know what to say about that one. This is some weird stuff going on. They'll probably fix it at some point. And oh my goodness, what is happening over on the other side? That is like 3 notes that just got trapped. And that is so many penalties that just suddenly happen. Might have to have a ref call on that one. We'll have to see when that match is over. That was a lot of penalties, as Logan has 3 red robots around him. He's trying to make things a little bit annoying. They don't have that last trap note scored, so Logan's is trying to keep it that way. 63 to 55 is our score with a minute left. Redacted is making it way closer this time. Unfortunately, a shot from Brandon goes down once, goes down twice. They're going to try and go for a third, but now they're having interference run by, looks like Matthew, was running interference on the Blue Alliance. It is hard to score the speaker notes when there is a robot just preventing you from actually lining up. 33 seconds to go. Underdogs is holding the lead, but it's nowhere near the blowout of a victory they had last time, so this game can still go either way. Trap notes are quite scored from both alliances. We'll see in a couple seconds as the end game starts how many are scored. And it looks like 3 trap notes for the Red Alliance, only 2 for the Blue Alliance. They are going to be down in points with a couple more seconds, 11 seconds to go actually. They're down about 16 points. It's going to be a little bit difficult to make the points happen, as Logan's going to go for a last second shot. We've got 2 robots climbing side by side, and underdogs are going to try and climb as well. They don't quite make the climb happen the way they want to, but their early game lead in the autonomous was enough to likely secure them the victory. Although, Josh, we got any rough stuff here?
No, sir, no ref stuff. Those are the final scores.
All right, no ref calls. It is 107 to 87 is going to be the score for underdogs. They're going to take the second game of the series, already 2-0 up. They have the series point. We'll be moving over to the third match. Anything to play for. Will we see a reverse sweep, or will underdogs take a clean sweep for their first victory? All right, third match, series point for the side of the underdogs. Match is now underway. We don't quite have the score. We'll have that shortly here as, oh, it looks like finally the Redacted is starting to take the series back into their own hands, 38-24. They are now in the lead. It is an uphill battle now for the underdogs as Tay is trying to get a second shot to fire them both times. Got a little too greedy, though, is going to not get either of them. As Logan is going to fight Rob. Is that Rob, actually? Oh, I didn't even realize we had Matthew subbed out for Rob at some point. I think that was this match that happened. Didn't even notice. And Rob is trying to make some scoring happen as Tay is going to also score a note into the speaker. And the score is now 51-34 for the Blue Alliance. 1 minute and 32 seconds to play for. Brennan and Logan scoring many points this time. Brandon's possibly causing some interference, trying to make some scores happen. Brennan's going to be trying to score the trap notes. The Red Alliance already has trap notes scored for their side. 2 trap notes scored for the Blue Alliance. Some interference from Tay is going to disrupt Brennan from getting the 3rd trap note scored for Redacted, but they still have the lead by a good margin, even being down 5 points in the trap notes. That's not too big of a deal when you have a 20-point lead, as Brennan's going to try and go for it again. Rob's going to interrupt it, but Brennan's going to get in the end. The interference wasn't enough. Brennan showing that expert veteran skill, making that trap note happen. 50 seconds left to play for. Both alliances have 15 points waiting in the bank for that endgame to start. Brennan's going to go running on over for another note. Oh my goodness, Stack is going a bit up in the air. There's some pinning stuff that might be called shortly. Oh, Brandon manages to dodge it. Luckily, Dak's getting a little bit caught up in the air. They're just going to go back and try and score a note. 30 seconds left. Brendan was penalized at some point for something that happened, and that's going to lose 5 points for the Blue Alliance, or rather 5 points for the Red Alliance, and it is neck and neck. 10 points for the game each, 15 points added for the trap notes as a bunch of speaker notes go up into the air for underdogs. They might be able to pull it back and just end the series right now as, oh no, Brandon is going to get a foul at the last possible moment. That is an unfortunate sequence. They need to get these climbs going. 2 seconds left. Logan's going to go for the speaker note. Who's going to win this game? Underdogs. They have the lead 98-95 as the match. Is that going to be it? Any ref calls, Josh?
That is the final score.
Oh my goodness, what a way to end it. Redacted coming up just short to start the reverse sweep. They were so close to making it happen, and it just doesn't quite work out for them. The underdogs are going to take game 3, and that should be the series. A 3-0 clean sweep. We even had, I think that was our first case of a mid-series substitution with Rob coming in for Matthew partway through. In the end, it works out. Underdogs taking the first victory against a very strong opponent in Redacted. But Redacted, they were close to making it happen. The first game might have been rough, but the other 2 were very neck and neck. And I'm really excited to see what comes of them coming into the next weeks. They might be down a series, but they are not out, not in the slightest. With that, we will go into another short break, and I think we have one more matchup for tonight. Is that correct, Josh? One more matchup to conclude this stream?
One more matchup for tonight, and then we'll head out, and then we'll start next week's matches. Hopefully same time, but let's see. But let's first take, let's say, 2-3 minutes, and then we'll come on back for our final matchup, which is We the Southwest versus A Great Chaos.
Stay tuned, everyone.
All right, chat. Welcome back to Real Talks with Josh. We're just getting some real talks in. My computer is like about to combust. Like, there's so much going on right now. I got like OBS open. I got music open for all this. I got so many Finder windows open because I'm a Mac user. And so many windows open for all of this, and it's just so demanding to get all this done. And I can't even get anything to click anymore. And it's just all of it is going crazy. And these breaks are the only thing keeping me sane. And that's why I'm talking to you guys. But I think there's like 12 people watching. I forget what the other team name is called, and I'm worried. I'm trying to get them in. Like, oh my god, there's so much going on. I gotta input all these directories and all of this stuff, and it's just there's so much, and my poor computer. Okay, hold on. Before anyone says anything, it might sound like I'm complaining a lot, but I am really enjoying doing this, because this is just a fun thing to do. Help out with SRC and FRC together, and then I should be actually all set up for the next match, which is impressive. That's the fastest turnaround I've had. In other random ramblings while we're waiting up, it is currently snowing outside my window, and I cannot believe it. It hasn't snowed where I live in a very long time, and something like that, like this is once in a lifetime. I wish I could be outside right now, but you know, just gotta keep the XRC stuff rolling. All right, we'll be back shortly after Evie orders her dinner and has a break on her voice. So, stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to the fifth series of tonight's stream for the Team League series. Absolute banger of a matchup last time, and we've got an even more amazing matchup, perhaps, as our last matchup for the day. These are two, I would say these are pretty well-known players, and these are two of the teams that I had as kind of like their dark horses, so to speak, for the event. Not speaking of dark horses directly, of course, but literal dark horses. And that is going to be on the Red Alliance, We the Southwest, with the players. We have Bing Bong, Maktar, Trevin, and Charlemag? I have no idea. I'll just call it Charl because I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry if that's incorrect.
Charlemagne, if I had to guess.
Charlemagne. Oh yes, that actually sounds a lot better. Thank you for saving me, Josh, from a little bit of embarrassment on that one. So Charlemagne on the We the Southwest Red Alliance side, but for the Blue Alliance, we have a great chaos, and that's going to feature Pepper, Cirrus, and Matthew, not the 422 Matthew, but these are all people from 2046. So we've got a whole representative of players from that team coming together and really trying to make it together. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think 2046 is bare metal. I could be wrong on this one. Yes, they are, in fact, so that's quite exciting to see. And these three members going to work together and see if they can overcome the third iteration of We the insert area here. We've had We the North, the classic. We had We the East, the imitation attempt. And now we have the final one. We the Southwest. We are taking this further now. And this is actually a very close matchup. Just looking at the players, these are all players that, besides maybe one or two players, these players are known in the community, and they've put up pretty solid results across the board. If anything really goes in this matchup, we'll have to see who We the Southwest is rocking with. I'm not sure who their members are just yet. I am so sorry, Charlemagne, for absolutely butchering your name. If I butcher it again, I will just blame it on COVID and definitely not my own ineptitude. We always have to have excuses to fall back on. And for the Red Alliance, we have Maktar, Trevin, and Bing Bong. So no Charlemagne, thank goodness. I'm nothing against you, but oh my goodness, I probably would have butchered it multiple times. I will do my best to not do that in the future, but luckily I am saved from doing that while stuck with my voice slowly fading off into the void known as COVID and pain and suffering. But with that, we should hopefully be starting this next match soon. As Josh pointed out before, we have no idea when these matches actually start. We just get the recordings, and they start eventually. That is for sure. These are guaranteed to start. Right as I say that, the match will start. First match, Red Alliance, We the Southwest going up against the Great Chaos on the Blue Alliance. 5 seconds left in Autonomous. Both alliances racing to try and score notes in the speaker during Autonomous to make a lot of points count. It's 5 per note, but only 2 during teleop. And it looks like only a Great Chaos is going to get the advantage with 3 notes scored to the Southwest. Only a couple scored. Oh my goodness, what happened? Were there a lot of penalties or something? I think there's a huge amount of penalization. Pepper does not understand where the safe zones are, and they're getting heavily penalized. That is so many points over to We the Southwest, even though they've barely scored any to begin with. As Matthew is going to manage to score a note in the trap, and the second one's going to go flying up into the air, and it's going to come back down to earth, but not where they wanted it to be. As Trevin's going to put a note in their own trap, as oh my goodness, the note just flies backwards. Did that note just drop onto Bing Bong? I think a note just went like either flying upwards or out of the field and then landed on Bing Bong, and their own note just goes flopping to the ground. Absolutely no points scored. But despite that, We the Southwest are having a couple issues, but they are in the lead right now. Maktar is going to score a point in the speaker, another 2 notes up for them, good to go. And Bing Bong is going to attempt to score one, but it's not going to quite work out. Cirrus is going to be blocked by Bing Bong in their attempts to manage to score trap note, as they're going to actually get themselves into the safe zone, as another one from Matthew as well, while they are going to get a double possession penalty on the side of a Great Chaos. They're going to get a couple points there. They just lost like 10 points advantage from just those fouls alone. These safe zones are brutal. Watch your lines, everyone. 5 points is nothing to scoff at while the amps are not in play. And with 24 seconds left, We the Southwest is having a great comeback from the early game, really understanding their safe zones a lot better than the Blue Alliance, and it's just showing absolute, oh my goodness, free climb after free climb just happened right now. Absolute disaster for a Great Chaos, as their early game lead means absolutely nothing in the face of 5 to 10 fouls. And no matter what's going to happen with these climbs in the end, the fate is already sealed. 94 to 64. We the Southwest coming out swinging with the first win of their series. They're going to be up 1-0, but plenty of room to play for a Great Chaos. They had a great start to the match, and if they can avoid drawing a lot of penalties, quite possibly almost the most we've seen, including the borderlines, then they have a lot of potential to pull this series back. 1-0 to We the Southwest. We'll see you guys shortly with the second match. any of you ever tried streaming while sick with like a cold or flu or anything like that? Ever tried commentating? Because oh my goodness, I don't know how I still have the energy after commentating. I don't even know how many matches. How many matches have we even played at this point? Like 5, 3, 3, 5, or 6. It was like 5, 6, 11, 14, 17. We're up to like 19 matches, I think now. This is like our 19th match. If I got my numbers correct. Maybe not, but oh my goodness, I don't know how I still have the energy to keep commentating this, but we're in the home stretch, thankfully, and perfect timing. The next match is now starting. We, the Southwest, is up 1 game, but it's anything goes in these series. Blue Lions, Great Chaos is off to a strong start, but this time We, the Southwest, is not completely screwing up their auto. They get a couple points in, and a Great Chaos still has a good start to their autonomous. They are in the lead once more. We'll see if they can respect the safe zone boundaries this time. I'm sure that was well on their mind, knowing how close they were to just winning that last match. Had they avoided that, oh my goodness, is that one of the robots getting a little caught in the chains of the blue stage? I couldn't tell which red robot that was, but one of their poor alliance members got caught up in the blue stage. They got almost completely flipped over, but luckily their teammates were able to help them out. This isn't the IRL game after all. Robots are a little more prone to not breaking when they flip, and we have a handy reset button as well if it really gets messed up. Great Chaos is off to a stronger start, though. They haven't gotten themselves any fouls, and you can see the score is 36-28 with 1:20. A shot going up into the sky, courtesy of some good defense from Surus, not making things easy for the Red Alliance. Great Chaos is definitely having a better showing this time around, as long as they can keep being careful about these boundaries, and they are definitely respecting it. Another shot goes into the sky, teammate on the subwoofer caught, and unfortunately it's very easy for these shots to just go up into the sky. It looks like Matthew's having some difficulties actually getting into the speaker, managing to finally iron that one out. Score is going to be 45-38 as, a foul is going to be called on the Red Alliance for touching one of the safe zones, it looks like, and that's a problem, because that's going to be an extra 5 points, and they're starting to really ramp up this advantage. Some trap notes are scored for both Alliance with 27 seconds left. It's a full all-out shoving battle in the middle, but these teams have to be careful. Do not interact with the other robots when they are in their stage at all, because if you do that, it's going to be a disaster. And right as I call that out, Surus is going to catch Maktar on the edge of their own stage. That's going to be a lot of points going over to the Blue Alliance with 7 seconds left. I think that pretty much secures the game for them. All the robots are going to start going up. We're going to get 6 robots, it appears, into the air. But with those final fouls for a Great Chaos, the score is going to be 85-66. They have tied the series up 1-1. And Matthew managing to pull 34 points. Some of that courtesy, I think, of that penalty they managed to draw. But that's one of the danger parts of cycling near the stage. You have to be very, very careful that you don't run into any robots, or else it is going to be a problem. I'll take a short break and wait for our third match. This is going to be a close series, everyone.
Three, two, one.
Third match underway, much quicker than the last two. Good thing for us, as we can get this match underway. 1-1's our score once again, and everything needs to play for. When it reaches this point, it's effectively a best of 3. As, oh no, I think that was a double possession or a shooting across the field foul. One of those two, not good for the Blue Alliance, but a Great Chaos does have the lead still, only barely, but it looks like they're going to get a couple more points. Surus having a very impressive contribution of -3. Can't say I've actually no, I was gonna say I can't say I've seen that before, but Nick still has the lead with a -5. We'll see if Surus can improve that score, maybe even beat Nick's score, or they will attempt to write their own score. Either or, that's going to be fun to commentate on. A minute 33 to go. The score is very neck and neck despite the negative score contribution. A Great Chaos is barely behind whatsoever. Trap notes haven't really been scored too much. I think I see maybe one for the blue lines. I can't see any others, but that is still a couple points for sure. Matthew is really making things happen for a Great Chaos. Already 29 score contribution of their own. They want to make this count. Minute 8 to go. We the Southwest, though, is not going down without a fight. Trap note number 1 attempt does not quite happen. Matthew's going to go for the second attempt, try and be quick about it, and that's going to be 5 points in the end game for the Blue Alliance. That's going to mean a lot with how close these matches are, but the Red Alliance also has a trap note of their own. That's going to be another 5 points for them, as some attempts to block, but I think that's from Cirrus on the Blue Alliance. Can't quite tell us. Oh, is that a red robot accidentally got caught in one of the safe zones? That's going to be 5 points for a Great Chaos. That can mean a lot. These fouls have been adding up in these games. You got to be careful about the safe zones. And oh, Blue Alliance runs into the red area by accident with 25 seconds left. That score advantage they got from the foul has been neutralized. 20 seconds left to go. Be careful of the stage, everyone. You got to be really mindful not to run into a robot trying to be in that area. This time, though, I believe that's Bing Bong managing to expertly maneuver around and not draw a foul on the stage. All the robots are going to go up, and with the way things are standing right now, it's going to go to the Red Alliance. And we, the Southwest, going to go up 2-1 in the series with a score of 96-84. Matthew with an incredible contribution, and Cirrus managing to break even in the end, but it just wasn't quite enough for a Great Chaos. Bing Bong and Trevin putting up a lot of points themselves, and that's really all that separates it. Just these little margins. These teams are incredibly close together. And even though it is series point for We the Southwest, I can absolutely see this going to a Game 5. So we'll have to see what happens in Game 4 first and foremost. Wow, these matches have been fast. I got caught unaware trying to get a little bit of water. Oh my goodness. Alright, back to normal things. Here we go. Ta-da. Huzzah. Autonomous is already done. We are 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the match. Both teams are almost exactly even with their score. It looks like their autonomous periods were tied, but they are down 2 speaker roads right now. Blue Alliance Cirrus is causing mayhem for the Red Alliance. It's going to be another note not quite scored where they want it to be. Oh my goodness, was that 2 blue robots accidentally got fouled at the same time? What on earth happened there? That's going to be 10 points over to the Red Alliance. Even though they're behind in points, they're already getting a lot of extra points. As looks like some foul was called on one of the red robots, it appears. So the points are 36-40 for a Great Chaos. They are behind in this match. Some trap notes are being scored. Actually, a Great Chaos, I think they already have all 3 trap notes on the blue side. Really impressive stuff. We're only like halfway through the match. 42-38. Mechanical. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my sanity over here. We, the Southwest, starting to get some points back as a foul is called on the Blue Alliance. One of their robots, I think that was Matthew, unfortunately gets a penalty in their name, but they're going to play it risky and try and get a note from the opposing loading zone or unloading zone. I have no idea what it's called. Oh my goodness, what is happening on the blue side? A robot is getting shoved into the air, and now they've reset. That's going to be a lot of points that a ref might have to look over. We're going to have to see what they call towards the end of the match. I'm only guessing that something will come of that, considering there was a reset. But with 30 seconds left to go, there's not really much reason to focus on that. Your goal is the same as always. Score as many points as you can. Doesn't matter how you do it. As long as it's legal, get those points in. Great Chaos is up 20 points right now, but anything goes in this match. You need to score as many points as you can with 10 seconds left. One more shot's coming in from the Blue Alliance. Bing Bong's going to expertly, again, dodge around their opponents in the stage. With 2 seconds left, they're trying to go up into the sky, but the Red Robots don't quite make it up. The score of 101-76. Who is it? A Great Chaos has the advantage for now in this match. Josh, we got any ref calls for this one?
We do have quite a few ref calls for this one. All right, so I'm gonna go through them in a list. We have -5 points to blue for a legitimate red reset, 5 to red for G419. Blue receives a yellow card for G419. The final score of this match will be different than what shows up on the screen, with red 81 points, blue 96 points.
Despite the fact that the score is now 81 to 96, ignore what the thing says. The the overlay is definitely a work in progress, but it does look beautiful, doesn't it? Always. I'm not sure actually to thank on that. I think it might be Nick, the Mod Squad's Nick.
Yes, it is Nick, the Mod Squad's Nick.
Yes. Everyone to give a thank you for this overlay. As always, Nick doing an amazing job making these streams look very pretty and beautiful. Even if they don't always work properly, that's just how it goes when you work with these things. If they worked perfectly, it would be a miracle. But with that, it is still going to be a game to a great chaos, which puts our series to 2-2. We have another 5-game series. I think this is our third of the day out of 5. We've really been keeping it close. We either have clean sweeps or 5-game bangers of a series. And we will wait for the 5th match to go underway and see the epic conclusion of this last series. Jeff the ref, the real MVP, showing up at all these matches. How many matches did Jeff ref here? This is a lot. At least 2, maybe 3 matches I've seen ref pop, or ref the Jeff. That's your name now, Jeff. It's ref the Jeff. Everybody make sure to call Jeff that in the future. That is, of course, an accurate name for all intents and purposes. There's nothing wrong with that in the slightest. So we're gonna wait, and here comes the hopefully last match. No weird shenanigans going on. And the 5th match of the series is going to now be underway. We the Southwest versus a Great Chaos. A lot of notes from the speaker on the side of the Red Alliance just bounce off of the scoring zone. Oh my goodness, this is not quite happening. I don't know what the score is quite yet, but there's so many notes bouncing off the speaker and falling back into the subwoofer for both sides. This is not good for these alliances, but the Blue Alliance already has 2 trap notes. Oh my goodness, Pepper is going crazy, but their note is getting glitched in the intake, it almost looks like. I have not seen that before, but they are starting to get the trap notes scored. They are at a disadvantage, but considering the trap notes, they should be about even with their opponents. Bing Bong and Pepper are fighting neck and neck for this one note. It's a single note, guys. You don't have to fight this hard for it, but they are determined to prove their superiority. They are locked in mortal combat right now. Cyrus is going to come over and be like, oh, it's mine. But now we have 4 robots in the middle of the field fighting over a single note. Cyrus is going into the sky. What is going on? Guys, this is a single note. It's one note. What are we doing? As Ping Pong is going to claim it in the end. Pepper is going to try and be annoying about it and say, okay, well, you get it, but cool. I'm just not going to let you score it. Bing Bong cannot score this. What is going on between Pepper and Bing Bong? They are just spending so much time as Bing Bong's almost going to get tipped over. This is an absolutely legendary duel. Did I just see a climber flip on the side? I have no idea if that's legal, but I just saw Pepper, it looks like, attempt a climber flip onto Bing Bong. We'll have to see what the ref has to say about that, as both Matthew and Pepper have gone dark in color, which might mean that they got a penalty. I'm not entirely certain what happened there. It sure seems like it based on the score that they got a penalty or 2. And with 30 seconds left, it was an absolute cluster in the middle. Oh no, we have another note in the middle. No, not again. Trevin's gonna take care of it quickly before it becomes another mess. As 20 seconds left, Cyrus is in the opponent's stage. It's going to be a penalty over to Bing Bong. It's going to be a lot of points with 13 seconds left. A Great Chaos is not out of this game despite all these penalties and everything. They still have a good amount of points. 7 seconds left. All the members of a Great Chaos are going up in the air. They are there. A double possession penalty, or that might have actually been a cross-map shot. And it's going to ding Maktar for a penalty. And we the Southwest has the 1 point advantage going into the end of this match. Josh, do we have any ref calls for this one?
No, we do not. That's the final score of our final match for today.
The final score 75-74. We the Southwest barely claiming victory. They managed to eke it out. Their strategy to just fist fight in the middle of the field was a legendary attempt, and in the end it pays off for them. They got both of the notes from it and they get the score. I don't even know how to say it. What a fun performance that was. And for the side of a Great Chaos, they were incredibly close. I see great things in their future for how they performed today. They got a couple things to work on with their foul management, but it is absolutely possible for them to come back and make their season much better. It's only one series after all. With that, we will have We the Southwest going up to 1-0, and a Great Chaos going to 0-1. And that is going to be our last stream of the day. I will let Josh end this out, but before that, I am Evie, also known as Never Saw, whatever name you know me by. It has been a blast commentating the first Team League Series 2024 stream, and I will hand it over to Josh now to send us off. Thank you so much for coming by, everyone.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here. We're gonna end off the stream in just a few seconds. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for keeping up in chat. Sorry that the frame rate was a little low from time to time, but next time, hopefully everything should be all good. Hope to see you around next time. I'm Josh, and see ya. Thanks for watching Team League Series 2024.